Hello and welcome to another drive-in double feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before I get anything to all, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/drive-in double feature podcast. You know, Nathan, I went back to Gatorland
Oh,
this
you
week
did?
and
Okay.
and somebody heard our gator alligator episode and they're like, I had to come to Gatorland because um Nathan and Ryan recommended it, and I'm also on their Patreon. I said, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "Yeah, it has all kinds of fun games, conversations, just a good old time between two friends." And she said, "It's only $5 a month, and it doesn't affect any regular content." And I said, "Oh wow, that's interesting." And she said, "I hope Nathan and Ryan know how much we appreciate them." And I said, "I think they know."
Yeah, I know now, and I appreciate you, just to let you know, because I know you're listening.
Oops. Yeah,
hmm
they're listening right now. But today we're talking about 2023's Meth Gator or Attack of the Meth Gator.
I love
Uh,
alternate titles.
and this one is directed by Christopher Ray, who we have done
No
before.
way. We have.
He directed Almighty Thor.
Oh my God. Well, wait, hold on. He's improved as a director. I'll say that now. Actually,
so,
he's gotten
so,
better.
so this is another Asylum movie.
hmm
So I uh, I wanted to talk about another Gator movie this month. So decided that why not? Because I remember Meth Gator coming out at a certain point because it was around the same time as Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, there was like
And
a weird time, right, when like Cocaine Bear got like a billion like ripoffs, like more than like I've seen in a long time. They were doing not like
I,
mockbusters.
it was always like blank drug and blank animal.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just stuff like that that would always try to get people to entice them like these killer animal movies. But Nathan, would it shock you to know that this is actually not a ripoff movie of Cocaine Bear?
I did read this,
Oh, okay.
but before I watched it,
You're
it
not allowed to research.
I
I've
know.
told
I'm
you this.
sorry. I can't research your movies. But no, it did surprise me when I did read that it actually was a real thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, because that was my initial thought going into this. I was like, okay, like Coke, they probably heard Cocaine Bears coming out
hmm
and they want to do something that's kind of similar, and they came out with this movie.
Yep.
Um, now I think I think they kind of planned out the release the same time as Cocaine Bear, like like maybe
They
it
work
was finished
together.
at a certain point, so
Mhm.
maybe it was just kind of like they had a movie like in the works for that already, and then released that because we're both in Florida, and gators
Mhm.
are no stranger to us out there, and they're and the other thing that's very prevalent in Florida is meth as well.
No,
So,
I'm not as I don't I'm not in the know on meth as much as I am gators. I'll
uh,
tell you that.
oh,
I'm,
okay, Nathan, I don't have to sound so
I'm
defensive.
not a meth head, okay? Just because I'm from
You know,
Florida.
I didn't even accuse you, and you're already like it's saying you're not a
Yeah,
meth
could you
head.
imagine? I'm not. And you just bring up meth.
It's like I wasn't even talking about meth, Nathan. It's like,
These people don't even know me, and I'm missing teeth and everything. I got meth mouth over here.
yeah, it's but yeah, basically there have been known instances of meth being dropped into lakes or bodies of water, and alligators getting a hold of them, and like
hmm
it's like their whole bodies are like affected by it, and it's like so there have been actual news stories of actual quote meth gators.
hmm
So this movie was basically based off of a news article at the time, and the movie was already being made, I believe, before Cocaine Bear was even announced
Holy
at
crap!
one
Wow.
point. So it was kind of like this movie was already in the works, and it just happened to be, like I said, I think maybe they kind of it may have been listed under something else maybe, but I think since Cocaine Bear came out, that's when they're like, oh well, we got a title now. Now it's Meth Gator.
Hmm. That's actually kind of
So,
interesting, especially for the asylum.
oh, I know. I mean, you think like they're doing like an original idea. Now, having said that, I will say the movies are very different from Cocaine Bear and Meth Gator.
Yeah, that was something. When I went into this, I was expecting Cocaine Bear, like the same setup, like the different stories and like coming together and all that with drug lords and stuff. No, it's not. It's not even really like you said. It's not like the same type of movie, really.
No, it's very much like trying to like the last movie was more so like from like the criminal's perspective, I from what I believe, like
Hmm.
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
It's like and just them getting into like shenanigans type of thing. I don't know because there was people talking throughout Cocaine Bear, and I haven't watched it since. But
Yeah, maybe that's why.
but
Yeah, though I don't remember it too well. But if I remember right, Ray Liotta was the bad guy, right? Trying to get it back.
Ray Liotta was the bad guy, yes.
Yeah.
So at the time, so this one is completely from the cop's perspective, and coming into town was Dante Williams, which is this guy that's like this big hot shot. What was he again? FBI or DEA, I think.
He was DEA from Tampa.
He comes back to this little swamp town that he grew up in, supposedly, and he's calling
Yeah.
everybody pops and everything like that. And I'm like, and he doesn't like they don't show like his actual like was he was adopted, right? Like by the
Yes, yeah, he was an adopted
by,
child. At least that's what I got out of it.
yeah, he seemed like
Well,
he was adopted by the local sheriff.
yeah, because let me set up that this guy coming in, the DA agent, is black, and then the main cop he calls Pops is white. So and I'm pretty sure he's adopted, but I guess he grew up here and moved to Tampa, which is a big city compared to like this swamp town. So it's like,
Eh,
oh, the city's changed you.
The the big city of Tampa.
Yeah, which if you know, Tampa is not anything special. It's not like
No,
LA or something like that.
no, it's not like going to Hollywood, Florida. Uh,
Oh yeah, whew,
uh,
don't yeah, I can't even step foot in Hollywood, Florida. That them
but
city folk.
no, the movie starts very early with the Gator stuff because
Hmm.
it's these criminals that are actually a part of this criminal like drug ring operation,
Hmm.
and they actually have bags of meth, and the meth has been dropped into the body of water, and one of the gators comes out and does eat it, and
Hmm.
now this gator's got super meth strength.
Yeah, he gets like bulky and huge because he eats like a ton of meth. I will say the CGI has improved in Asylum movies. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good, but it is not horrible.
it's it's not amazing, but I can at least see like I was like, okay, like that's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's better than Sound of Thunder.
Oh yeah, like this one it actually looks like a gator. It's just like you could tell it's CGI.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right away like one of the other criminals gets away and he kind of goes into hiding, and this other criminal like he's standing like the lake shore, and the sheriff comes and has like a gun pointed at him, and this the gator jumps up and just eats the guy right away. We don't see it because it's all
Yeah.
off camera because that's going to be too much money to watch to see somebody get
Yeah.
mauled. But what I like is like the sheriff is just like staring and he's like doesn't have like he doesn't
Yeah.
react to this gator like
No.
jumping out of the water and mauling this guy, devouring him whole.
Yeah, not even a shot gets fired, right?
No, he's just standing there like, huh? Like
Uh-huh.
eh, it just
Yeah.
more. more like, oh, that's different type of thing rather than like, oh my God, like a gator just jumped out and just ate a guy in
Yeah,
one bite.
how you normally react and run away, like yeah,
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to my first point about this movie. The acting in this movie is not good at all.
oh,
It's
horrible
uh,
acting.
yeah, it's very, very, very bad. I mean, like the sheriff is probably he's not good at all. He's a really bad actor, and
Mhm.
everyone else is either bad or just horribly plain and just
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, there's like a few
So,
times where they're like funny bad, because there's a bar in town ran by like this really southern guy with an act like a hardcore accent who's in the military, where like he's supposed to be like the comedic relief, I think. Not really funny, but like it's kind of funny how bad he is.
well, yeah. And by the way, he runs this bar, which is clearly somebody's house.
Oh
It's like
my
they kept,
God. So
it's
bad.
like they kept saying like, oh yeah, this is a bar, and they put up like this sign on the house that just says like Lone Star Cafe or something like
Uh-huh.
that,
And it's like
and
just spray painted, right?
I think it's wood,
Well,
maybe. I think it's like
I think there's a second sign that's spray painted by the
ma-
mailbox.
maybe so, but it's very much like it's trying to be like, well, this thing is like a one size fits. It's like a restaurant, a bar, and also a hotel too.
Yeah, it's an inn. Yeah, and but like you wouldn't guess that when you go in to it. It looks like somebody's living room with the furniture and everything, with like a fake bar and like a really bad background.
Well, yeah, and it's like they get like a tarp or whatever to like put
Hmm.
up like around the walls. So I guess so you can't go through like the screen or something like that. Like no bugs get or they can't tell it's dark or daytime or whatever. But it looks really bad. And I mean, like right now, like I live near a body of water and like
Oh
some like
yeah.
the older houses, and I'm like I see houses that look like that. So
Hmm. Yeah.
it was kind of like them kept saying like this is a bar. I'm just like that's somebody's house, and like they get so much mileage out of this
Oh
house.
yeah.
Like there's so many scenes take place here.
Oh my God, there's so many points in the movie where they're just talking in this house. There's like a heart, other than like the woods, they're at this place talking with everybody with the most important scenes because there's a mayor character who's always here. Um, oh God, the waitress. Oh, she's so bad. Another adopted kid. Uh,
Yeah, that's the other thing too. And I'm like, she's Latina and
uh-huh.
she's been adopted by like this by the dumb guy like that runs the bar, like the dumb veteran
Hmm.
guy. And but apparently like she's also like super good with the gun because they're like they deputize her
Yeah,
at one point.
well, she was formerly a cop, but she quit to
That's
work the bar. I know
that's
my
right.
Meth Gator, okay? I
Well, yeah, it's been like 4 days since I watched it, so my memory might be a little fuzzy,
yeah,
but
yeah, you're good. But yeah, she isn't part of the cops, but she asks to get on this Meth Gator assignment because all the cops are getting together to shoot it. And probably I laughed so hard when they were like, "No, no, you're no citizens. Why would you even want to go after this Meth Gator?" And she's like, "Oh, because Meth killed my dad." I was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. And then they're just like,
he's going
okay, yeah, yep, you're right.
she's going after meth, not the gator. She's going after meth.
Yeah, that's why the meth is what we need to get out.
And this movie, it's like a weird combination because, like, I would say, like, wouldn't you say? I guess like the closest thing this movie is to maybe is like Jaws.
That was
I want
actually
to
a
say,
point I was going to bring up, that this is more of a ripoff of Jaws in a way, like Jaws with a
yeah.
gator, because yeah, that's the very very cliche hook is that the mayor is like, oh, it's Memorial Weekend and we cannot have no tourists here, so need to get that gator and we're going to get people in here, and that's his whole shtick. But also he's
Well, yeah,
corrupt too.
yeah, they have this big parade coming up. That's like the big
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah, in this swamp town. I'm supposed to think that this swamp is like the middle of nowhere, but is like a huge tourist attraction.
Yeah, like the way you guys like there's like it's like the same 10 people in this town. So I don't it doesn't look like there's really much there to even worry about. Like if
Hmm.
they just cancel it 1 year, I don't think many people would care too much. But
Yeah.
uh they do have like they do send in like a professional like gator trapping team, which is like this woman and this guy that go in there to do it. And the woman guy gets dragged away by the gator and gets mauled. And the guy's like sitting in his airboat, like trying to get out, like, oh crap. Like, and then the gator just, you just see the gator fly and just like tackle him to the ground and like eats him like head first.
Yeah. Oh man, what a that's another really bad scene, but it's really funny with the lady. She gets like dragged away. She's on the ground and she's like, "I'm stuck. I can't get up." And it doesn't look like she's stuck on anything. It looks like she's just laying on the
No,
ground. But they
yeah.
she does get dragged, which I was surprised they didn't do that off camera.
No, yeah. I was surprised that you actually do see her leg coming off at least at one point.
That happens a few times where you see some limbs get bitten off. It doesn't look realistic at all, but you at least see something.
No, yeah. So would you say the effects in this one are better or worse than Alligator?
Oh, good question. I think this is. Oh, I think alligator because at least
I
like in the
think,
overhead shots, it's a real gator, so it has a little more realism to it.
yeah, probably Alligator. I'm a much bigger fan of more practical effects anyway. But
Exactly. I have a little bit of bias because I'd rather have a practical effect any day of the week.
yeah, so the effects in that one, like they're not great. Like I said, like you don't really see like the gator mauling anybody. It's usually just like limbs that come off, or like
Mhm.
the gator flies on top of something and it goes away. It's a very silly movie. They but then like the movie kind of like takes like a turn because not only are they trying to get rid of this gator, they're also trying to take down this drug ring operation.
Yeah.
And that's like the complete other half of this movie where Dante has to go undercover, like pretending like he wants to figure out what this, and he just like I like he just comes across as like a cop in this one. It's
Oh yeah.
like it's like he's not even trying to blend in. I don't feel like it's like
Yeah.
he goes in there and he's just like, I want to go see this meth lab, and
Yeah, it's
and
like he just walks up with his other dude there and he's like, "Yeah, where's your meth lab? I got a ton of money. Let me get the meth. We need to go tonight."
yeah, let's go right now and go get some
Yeah.
meth.
And I was sitting there the whole time thinking, "Oh my God, if they're really falling for this is so bad." But they don't. He's like, "You serious? I know who you are."
And the other thing too that this it already kind of dates itself for this movie just a little bit
Hmm.
is because in order for him to like prove himself to like these criminals, he has to like kind of win this contest against this strong man. And I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna arm wrestle, but no, they do the slap fight where it's like one person stands on one end and they each get like a free slap at each other, and like whoever gets knocked out wins.
Yeah.
Like I I don't know, like I know like that was a really big trend at one point.
Hmm.
Like when people like they even like popularized like the slap fighting and like made it like this big thing for like the last like 3 years, I think it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
3 years ago maybe.
yeah, and it died out pretty hard. But yeah, it was like a big thing that popped up all over social media because I guess it was wild, weird. So yeah, it does
Well,
date this movie.
so that's the thing. I was like, man, this movie was like already like dated itself, and this movie is not that old either. And so
No,
it's
yeah, it's not that old, but yeah, it's and like this movie invests in this slap fight really hard. It's like a bit it lasts for a while in this movie. And it's not even well filmed at all. Like the cop slaps him and it does not look like a hard slap. And of course they add in a like a, like some like a really bad sound effect
yeah,
over it.
yeah, and Dante gets slapped so hard, he's just like gushing blood out of his mouth. And but then like you said, like he hits like the dude that's like twice his size with like one weak looking slap, and the guy of course is like "Whoa," like just falls down like a
Uh-huh.
tree.
So
And
stupid.
there's so many points too where I I kind of was like I could almost like call out like where the gator was going to show up and how these people were going to get killed.
Hmm.
Like there's one scene where like this guy uses a drone to try to find the gator,
Yeah.
and I'm like, the gator's gonna jump out of the air and
Yeah.
jump out of the water and snatch it out of the air. He does that. Or like the other one where this bad guy is takes tries to take Dante to the meth lab, and they're both hanging there by zip lines, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you guys right now because you're stuck in the air. And like
Hmm.
all three of them are stuck on the zip line. And then of course like the gator just like does like this like
Yeah.
12-foot jump or something crazy like that and snatches the bad guy out of the air.
Of course. Yeah, because the explanation is that the gator can smell meth from anywhere. Like if there you've got a little bit of meth on you, he's gonna come at you and get it.
Yeah, and that's how they use to like lure the gator. They're like they sprinkle meth in the water, like here, gator, gator, like type of thing.
Which
Uh,
is so silly.
uh, but they do eventually find this meth lab, and they're just like, oh my God, like this meth lab is like this is like everything we dreamed of, and we've been trying to find it for a long time, and they find it, and of course the gator shows up,
Hmm.
and they all get cornered in there. And luckily though, like one of the guys brought um a bazooka with them, like
Of course.
or or is it a missile launcher?
I think it was a missile launcher.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but like him pointing this missile launcher at this gator, and the gator's got its mouth open, and
Uh-huh.
he shoots the missile into like the gator's mouth, and you just see smoke coming out. I That was so funny to me.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I was like, my sides were hurting because it was just so stupid
Yeah,
and just.
I was not expecting it. And they show it. They show the missile going to the gator and everything. No, I was this whole climax, I was kind of having fun with it. Like at least it's not taking itself seriously, right? And honestly, I'm surprised that this movie goes for a fake out ending. I was like, okay, it's over. He shot the rocket inside the gator. No, they go for a the gator didn't actually die and he's going to attack the parade ending.
Yeah, so they do a complete fake out, and the only time I knew like there may have been doing something like that is when they were going back to like they were back at the bar or whatever, and like one of the guys was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go back there and take a piece of that gator just as a trophy for myself, type of
Hmm.
thing. And I'm like, I'm like, just
Yeah.
thinking like something's up here.
Hmm.
And sure enough, well, I I was thinking that like when he said that, I'm like, wait a minute, they left the gator there, like just
Right?
and like they just left like this active crime scene and just left.
Right? That gator has murdered people, like so many, and they just left it
Well,
there.
well, not only that, it's like it's a meth lab too.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
you're
this
right.
that it's a meth lab that they've been looking for God knows how long. And like
Uh-huh.
they didn't call the cops. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna just leave type of thing. And
Yeah, yeah, it's just so
uh,
stupid.
but like you said, it turns out the gator was not dead. When the guy shows up, it turned out the gator had just molted his skin, like shed his skin, and
Which hear me out, that makes absolutely no sense because a rocket blew up
zero
inside of
sense,
him.
0 cents. Because not only that, like whenever like a snake sheds its skin or like any type of like reptile,
Mhm.
it's never like this big perfect like one shape or whatever. It's
No.
always it but it looks because it looks like the gator's carcass is still there, but then like it just sinks to the ground because it's skin, and the guy's like, oh my God.
Yeah, which also it doesn't make sense because they kill him in pretty much the same way at the end of the movie. They shoot a giant firework into the gator and blow him up from the inside, which is just the same death, but I guess this time, in quotations, I should say, he's dead.
Yeah. It's they finally do kill it, and I don't think there was anything else like towards the end, was there, that I'm thinking of or I'm missing, but like
Mm-hmm.
because I think it just kind of like ends there because oh well there's like the scene too where the mayor like corners the gator, and
Mm-hmm.
like the mayor was like, who was drunk, was like, I'm gonna kill this gator myself
That's
type of
right.
thing. And that's when like the sheriff shows up, and he like just like falls over, like he trips and he's just like, oh my knee, like I can't go, and like that just like takes him out of the movie completely almost. And just
Exactly. Um,
and but yeah, and like and the girl's the only one able to like, because this gator's been shot like 100 times too with like
yes.
guns, and but she's the only one to actually hurt it because it's her gun or whatever. Like she hits it just in the right spot,
Yeah.
and like and then the other thing too is when the gator shows up, it's like doubled in size. So now it's like the size of like a bus.
Yeah. It'd be just because of meth.
Yeah, meth made it grow. So do meth,
Yeah,
everybody.
do meth, not steroids.
Yes.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, overall, it's not a good movie. It's not, but I can at least say I wasn't bored. It wasn't like the worst experience I've ever had. So would I say you need to recommend because even it's so hilarious, it's not so bad it's good? Probably not. It's
Hmm.
not it's not anything I would say go out of your way to, but I would at the same time I'm like, it's I had fun. I had somewhat fun with it.
No, yeah, and I feel pretty much the exact same way. Wouldn't recommend it because it's not like so bad it's funny, but it's like funny enough. Like, and it's entertaining enough. Like watching this gator eat people, it didn't really slow down ever. Had some funny lines. So like for a movie that I wouldn't say is I guess I'd say it's a bad movie, but does it rank on the bottom of the drive-in double feature list? No. There's far worse.
Oh yeah. It's overall completely inoffensive. It's just another run-of-the-mill um cheesy monster like giant alligator movie.
Exactly.
So, but I think that's gonna do it for Meth Gator. But Nathan, what are we going to be talking about next time?
All right. Well, Ryan, on Tuesday, we are going to be talking about What Have They Done to Your Daughters from 1974, and that'll be streaming over on Tubi.
What have they done to my daughters, Nathan?
You'll have to watch and see.
Oh man, mothers be aware. Uh, uh,
Yes, my
so
favorite song.
all right. Well, Nathan, there might have been a little secret theme to this week,
No,
Nathan.
no
I don't know if you
way.
noticed. Uh, so Nathan, we are going to be talking about another alligator movie. Nathan, we are
What?
going to be
That was the
talking.
theme?
It is. I got you. I got you good.
Wow.
But no, Nathan, we're going to be talking about the movie Alligator Alley.
Oh, Alligator Alley. Wait, is that a gator movie?
Alligator Alley, yeah.
Okay. Whatever you say.
So we're going to be watching that. That one's streaming over on Tubi for free.
Of course it is.
It is Tubi, thank you. But
Mhm.
if you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us over at drivein-double-feature-podcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/drivein-double-feature-podcast. And once again, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/drivein-double-feature-podcast. But until next time.
Until next time.